So I have one thing I wanted to talk about before we get started today.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fun thing to talk about before we get started, and then there's no fun afterwards.
Then there's no fun.
There's no
at
fun.
all.
It's
no fun allowed.
Serious times.
Alan Wake is a real serious writer.
Alan Wake is a very serious writer, and he has to find his wife.
Yes.
So for folks who don't know, the Paper Mario, the Mario RPGs in general used to be these eclectic, weird games that expanded the Mario universe. I don't want to say that like I care about the lore of Mario, but the point is,
Yes.
think of the new Super Mario Brothers games versus Mario Wonder, for example. New Super Mario Bros. Is very bland, very flat, very stock.
You're in the
This is
Mushroom
what a-
Kingdom
this is
with
what a Mario
Goombas
looks
and
like.
Koopas.
The Mario RPG series the Mario RPG games across 3 different brands basically tended to be a lot broader in scope and do a lot wackier stuff. They'd have traditional iconic Mario elements, but they would introduce new characters, take you to weird aesthetic zones, and they tended to be very funny games.
Yes.
Then Thousand Year Door didn't sell all that well because it was on the GameCube and nothing sold all that well on the GameCube. But everybody at Nintendo, including Miyamoto, decided that everything that came out on the GameCube was a failure because it didn't sell well. Not recognizing it was because GameCube didn't sell well.
Yeah.
With the exception of Pikmin. Pikmin sold horribly, but Miyamoto didn't give a shit.
No, he's like, that's my baby.
He didn't give a shit. Super Paper Mario released on the Wii. The Wii was much more successful. Super Paper Mario was not an RPG. It was a weird platforming hybrid game with some light RPG elements
Yep.
and an RPG-esque story, but it was an adventure platforming game.
Yes, it was a fun game, but for long-time fans of the Paper Mario games and the RPG games, it was a stark departure that many of them did not take to very well.
So shortly after that game released, there was a Club Nintendo survey. Club Nintendo used to be Nintendo's loyalty program.
Okay, yeah.
When Sticker Star came out, Sticker Star was when they cranked the knob to bland and ripped it off.
Yeah.
They basically made New Super Mario Bros. Into an RPG,
That's
except
the
it wasn't
thing-
an RPG. Well, I can't get into why Sticker Star sucks. Sticker
No.
Star had really, really, really shitty gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, that's
It
the
was
thing.
really
Is
awful.
Super Paper Mario, a lot of people will say like that was the departure for the series, and gameplay-wise it was, but the difference is that Super Paper Mario was still a good game.
Yes, and it had a story. This isn't like I don't like it. Sticker Star is like a bad video game. It's poorly made. It's poorly designed. It is. I made a video talking about what happened with the series that you can go watch on the main channel. I made a trailer when the Origami King trailer came out. It's a good crash course on what the hell happened. So I don't need to get into that anymore. But basically, I believe it was in an Ask Iwata interview about Sticker Star. They explained there was a Club Nintendo survey sometime after Super Paper Mario came out, where they asked fans what they liked about it, and we really didn't get a lot of responses of people saying they liked the story. So we realized it wasn't all that important for these games. So first of all, number one, who answered these questions?
Yeah, it's funny because when I think about it's like who answers a magazine surveys, it's like me when I was 11.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, this has been this discussed poll that none of us saw
Yeah.
has been like the smoking gun of what happened with the series for years. There's been a thing, it seems like a number of people internally, but especially Shigeru Miyamoto. Shigeru Miyamoto, for all the respect that I have about him, about his focus on the textural experience of video games and how it feels to move a character and making a satisfying like system to engage with, I think he thinks of video games as exceptionally complicated, texturally interesting toys. And if there is something that distracts you from that,
Then it's bad.
it's damaging its effectiveness as a toy. He came in and looked at an early version of the Paper Mario game for the 3DS.
Okay.
And he said, this doesn't seem all that different from the GameCube version. You guys have not iterated and changed it up all that much. It really just seems like another version of the GameCube game. Couldn't you do something new and a little more? And he also said, I don't think does a game really need more story than a good guy and a bad guy, and at the end you find out that the bad guy maybe really wasn't all that bad? Does it really need more than that? They made that, and it sold well because it was on the Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
So they made another game like it on the Wii U, which didn't sell very well because it was on the Wii U. And then they made a game on the Switch, which sold okay because it was on the Switch, but it was the third time that everyone was like, would you please just stop doing this?
Could you just make, yeah. And it's also, it's I find it really funny, the whole, it's like, this game's not different enough, it's not innovative enough, and that's a complaint that it, like, to an extent is valid, and it's one that a lot of casual gamers have about games. But it's like, I look back to, like, FromSoft, for instance, and it's like, people are like, how were they able to make Elden Ring so good? And it's like, they've made the same game 7 times in a row.
You want to know why Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a ludicrously huge video game with an incredible amount of highly polished content that was made in barely 3 years? It's because they already made the game once.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I hope whatever that team does after Final Fantasy VII Remake, they just keep the exact same combat system and gameplay style. Go do a new Final Fantasy. Don't even do it. It doesn't have to be a remake. Do another new Final Fantasy with a new story. Keep the exact
style.
Keep the exact same combat systems and engine and everything else. But there seems to be this reticence internally at Nintendo to admit that people don't like the new games. The Sticker Star, Color Splash, Origami King, right? Mm-hmm. So even if these games sell well, we might not necessarily instantly get a good Paper Mario game or a good Mario and Luigi game or whatever else. However, after the poll that ruined us for 15 years, a month ago, Nintendo sent out a new poll.
Oh, okay.
I read this to Joshua on the phone the other night, and I wish that I'd recorded it.
Okay.
Your reaction is not going to be as strong as his.
All right.
But I want to share this with somebody.
Yes.
I read this a month ago, and I just forgot to tell anybody about it until a few nights ago with the trailer coming out.
Okay.
So Nintendo sent out a survey asking about Mario RPG franchises in general.
Okay.
This is one of the funniest polls I've ever read.
Okay.
It's the first page that this. I'm just reading screenshots that a guy posted on Reddit.
Of course.
First question. This survey is about games in the Paper Mario series, the Mario and Luigi series, and Super Mario RPG. Before answering this survey, have you already heard of any of these Mario games? Yes, and I have played at least one of them. Yes, but I've never played any of them. No, I've never heard any of them before, are our options.
Yeah, okay.
Then if you say yes, I've played some, then you have to pick which ones you have played, and then it says, of these, which is your absolute favorite.
Okay.
Anyway, this is where it gets funny.
All right.
Below, you see a list of features that are common to most games in the Paper Mario series, the Mario and Luigi series, and Super Mario RPG. Which of these features do you like? You may pick up to 5 features.
Okay.
I'm going to reread the question. Below, you see a list of features that are common to most games from Paper Mario, Mario & Luigi, and Super Mario RPG.
Okay.
This list is one of the funniest things I've ever read.
Hit me with it.
Number 1, collecting new gear or accessories to become stronger.
Okay.
You know, like you do in a video game.
Yeah, like video game. Like RPG stuff.
Exploring new worlds and places.
Okay.
You know,
video
like
games.
you do in a video game.
Okay.
Funny dialogues and a humorous atmosphere.
Okay.
Encountering
out there.
new characters that are unlike the known characters from other Mario games.
The new characters that are not like the old characters. Gotcha. Cool. Okay.
Encountering familiar characters like Luigi, Peach, or Bowser. A unique graphical style. Wow. We can't even move on this. We got to back up.
Okay.
Again, in any other context, imagine a poll asking what you like about any work of fiction in any genre. Do you like meeting new characters who are unknown from the characters that you did not know previously?
Generally speaking, yeah. It seems like this isn't written by a real person.
Do you encountering familiar characters? Do you like seeing characters that you like? This is written by people like this in any other context. This is total nonsense.
Yes,
but it's like, do people really like seeing new? We got to convince Miyamoto and other people at the top. No. People like seeing they like seeing new characters. It's not ruining the brand.
What I really want to know:
do people really like seeing characters that aren't Peach and Toads? We need data to back this up.
We need to figure it out. Don't bother listening to forums and complaints and reviews and whatnot over the years.
A unique graphical style.
Yeah.
Using newly unlocked abilities to overcome obstacles in the overworld.
You mean like in a video game?
Following an adventure and an engaging story. Seeing many familiar elements from the Mario universe, e.g. items, coins, warp pipes. This is on a list of pick five
yes,
features you
features
enjoy best. Seeing many familiar elements from the Mario universe.
Why couldn't you just lump that into the whole familiar characters? Familiar things from Mario, just say that.
E.g. items, coins, warp pipes.
Warp pipes.
Next.
I love warp pipes.
Defeating enemies in a turn-based combat system by choosing your next move wisely. Now, I want to point out something out that's nuts about that question.
Yeah, okay.
Literally every game that this concerns, except Super Paper Mario, is turn-based.
Yeah.
Now, we can debate about whether or not Sticker Star, Origami King, and Color Splash require you to choose your next move carefully.
True.
But every game being pulled is a turn-based game.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting stronger or leveling up by learning new abilities.
Wow.
Because it was decided as of Sticker Star and on to Origami King, leveling up is pointless.
Yeah, of course.
That's a distraction.
You don't get it. Sorry about that, guys.
That's a distraction.
That's a distraction. You don't get XP, don't bother, don't worry about it.
You just get coins that you can't spend on anything.
Correct.
And you get disposable attacks. If you beat enemies, you get coins you can use to buy disposable attacks
to replenish the ones that you lost in engaging them in the first place.
So one of the things that Chuck and Conway talks about in that video is that there is no disadvantage to running away from combat encounters in Sticker Star.
Yep.
And there's like a 95% success rate on fleeing, so you just never have to fight anybody. It actually makes you stronger. You will be better off when you get to the final boss of a zone than if you fought people.
When Sticker Star first came out, I thought people were blowing that out of proportion until I started looking into it myself, and I was like, Jesus Christ, did nobody
It is one of the most poorly conceived design docs of all time. It's from Nintendo, a developer known for the most airtight design docs in history.
It's were people just afraid to say, hey, why would I engage with it? Or it's probably not even that. Somebody was probably like, why would I engage with the fight? And then somebody up top was probably just like,
I think it's probably because they made a whole RPG and Miyamoto said scrap it.
Yeah.
And then they made something else and he said this isn't really working either, but the game has to ship in 6 months.
Genius Miyamoto-san.
So after getting stronger, leveling up by learning new items, increasing the power of your attacks or your defense by pressing buttons at the right time.
Okay.
And I'd like to point out again, that is a feature in literally all of the games we are being asked about, including Super Paper Mario. Yeah. Or none of these. You don't like any of those features?
I don't like none of it.
All right, that's the funniest one.
Yeah.
But we're not done.
Okay.
Next question. The Paper Mario games, the Mario and Luigi games, and Super Mario RPG usually include a variety of characters. On the one hand, completely new ones, like Geno or Mallow from Super Mario RPG.
Yes.
But also familiar ones, like Peach and Bowser. Do you generally prefer the new or the familiar characters? Again, imagine there's no other world, no other franchise. Except maybe Star Wars fans, where these would be relevant questions. Yeah. And even that, I'm being unfair. Imagine what's going on internally for someone to say, write this poll with these questions in it.
I know. It feels like this was the breaking point of these discussions.
And your answers are somewhat predictably, I prefer the completely new characters. I like both new and familiar characters equally. I prefer the familiar characters, or I don't know. Again, think about this. The question isn't, I like the characters who are good.
Yeah.
I like the characters who are well written and interesting.
No, it's
I like both new and familiar characters equally.
This is a poll for 8-year-olds.
When thinking of the behavior or appearance of the familiar characters in bold, which of these statements would you agree with the most? Here are the statements. I prefer all characters to behave and appear like they do in other Mario games. I prefer the central characters to appear unique or to behave in unexpected ways. I prefer even side characters, e.g. Toads, to appear unique or to behave in unexpected ways. Or, I don't know.
I don't know.
Joshua flipped the fuck out when I read the last one. They asked specifically about
toads. They read... One person read one of the thousands of comments complaining about the toads.
I want to reread these because these are so fun. I prefer all characters to behave and appear like they do in other Mario games.
Yes, of course.
I prefer the central characters to appear unique or to behave in unexpected ways, like characters often do in stories.
This makes more sense when you think about the way that Nintendo like talks in their like press conferences and like Nintendo Directs and stuff. Like I'm hearing it in that cadence and tone.
I prefer even side characters like the Toads, to appear unique or to behave in unexpected ways. Or, I don't know, I don't have an opinion on this, because this is an insane question.
Yeah.
And I just got here, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What's a video game? What are you talking about?
Or like, no, again, if you don't have any context about these games,
yeah.
It's like,
what are you talking about?
Huh? Okay, and last section that this guy on Reddit featured. I don't know if it's the last part that was in the email blast, but this is not as funny as the first long questionnaire, but it's still pretty funny.
Gotcha.
The Paper Mario games, Mario Luigi games, and Super Mario RPG have offered a wide variety of different battle systems and mechanics. Which of these aspects do you like the most? You may choose up to 5 aspects.
Okay.
Using special attacks / bro attacks with unique effects.
Okay.
Having time...
Using supers in your RPG.
Having time to play... Exactly, again. I like having special attacks.
I like having a variety of attacks in my RPG so that I'm not doing the same thing throughout the whole game.
I like when my RPG menu has more buttons than attack and flee.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
I like it when the Pokemon have moves other than just basic attack. Having time to plan your next move.
Wait, what? Oh, I guess... That's a weird way of saying, do you prefer it to be turn-based?
So Joshua talked to me, we were talking about this, because again, all of these games, other than Super Paper Mario, are turn-based.
Yeah.
You can sit as long as you like, with one exception.
Okay.
Origami King is the only one of these games other than real-time Super Paper Mario.
Oh, is it like Ghetto ATB?
At the beginning of it, no, there's not an ATB system. At the beginning of it, you have to solve a puzzle where you rotate a bunch of concentric rings to line up enemies in such a way that Mario can attack them most efficiently. This is the core gimmick.
I thought that was the gameplay. I thought that was attacking.
It is, but then you use stickers to attack them.
Yeah, of course. God.
You just have to use fewer of them. Like, if you line up all the Goombas on one row, then you can just use one jump attack, Joey. It's much more efficient. The rotating part at the beginning of each battle is timed. However, I believe it's like you can spend money to increase the timer. That's what you can spend coins on in that game.
Okay.
But you can also talk to your little assistant who represents the game's mechanics, your little gimmick character who exists in all these games because we can't have unique party members anymore.
Yep.
And like you can ask her for a hint or to explain gameplay mechanics to you at any time, and it pauses the timer.
Oh, okay.
So you can just look at you can just hit that button and assess the puzzle, and then solve the puzzle.
Awesome.
So a time limit that forces you to think fast. Having time to plan your next move is every single game. Then next, a time limit that forces you to think fast about the best course of action. Ghetto ATB.
Yeah.
A turn-based combat system.
Okay.
Again, all of them.
Yeah.
5 aspects you liked best about the combat in gameplay in the Mario RPG games. A real-time combat system, like Super Paper Mario, in parentheses. Yeah. Collecting one-time usable attack items, like stickers in the overworld, and using these in battle.
I just want to go back to it. It's minor, but I find it really funny, like, real-time combat describing, like, Mario. You know? Like, I jump on the Goomba.
Well, so you know, like...
I stomping Koopas
you know
in real
Sticker
time.
Star forward, the genre listing is action-adventure.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's what drives me so insane, and I talked about this in the video I did about this several years back, that, like, I'm an action RPG... I'm an action-adventure gamer, and what I want is the super stiff, lame Paper Mario jump in platforming levels,
yeah.
And I want to do resource management
Yeah.
in a turn-based setting. They're games for nobody.
Yeah.
They're games for no one. They're insane. Anyway, after collecting one-time usable attack items like stickers in the overworld and using these in battle.
That's my favorite.
Using items like mushrooms or fire flowers. That's the question.
Using items like
mushrooms or fire flowers. I think this is the another way that if you tick that goes into the metric of people like things to be normal.
Yeah.
Again, these are the most unhinged questions.
They are. It's
this next one.
It feels like this feels like questions that were real that you like had somebody rewrite to simplify 5 times in a row.
The next one might be my favorite. It's not the funniest one of the bunch, I'm losing my mind that this is a question about it. Like again, like the last one was like half of them are like you mean like you do in a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
But the wording of this one.
Okay.
I just want you to know I'm reading all of these word for word. But
Yes,
it's really
of
important
course.
it's really important you know I'm reading this one word for word.
Yes.
Solving a little puzzle at the beginning of the battle. Like in Solving a little puzzle at the beginning of the battle, like in Paper Mario The Origami King.
It's just a little puzzle for just a little guy. Oh man.
Next.
That's good.
These two, again, in a vacuum, like,
What are you talking
wouldn't
about?
necessarily register as weird.
Okay.
Companions fighting alongside Mario. And then the next one, Mario fighting alone. Now, again, this is here for the clowns who are trying to prove that they are right. And that the filthy Americans who keep complaining about that GameCube game they didn't even buy
Yeah, exactly.
don't know what they're talking about. That is why that's here. But I want you to think about the guy who ticks Mario fighting alone is one of my 5 favorite aspects of the mechanics of Mario RPGs.
Yeah.
So you're in a vacuum. I've played a bunch of Mario RPGs, and I'm ticking the items that I like about the combat systems, right?
It's like, oh yeah, I really didn't feel having extra partners and extra turns for attacks. I really just wanted to have him by himself.
Forget that. Mario fighting alone is not a feature.
No, well...
You understand what I mean?
You're
you're building
you're right.
outward from the base point of there is a
Yeah.
character who selects things from a menu to perform attacks, right? So there has to be someone there.
Yes.
And then from there, you have a combat system that you may like things about, right? You wouldn't, like... I don't know, you wouldn't play, like... You wouldn't play, like, some basic early dungeon crawler. You wouldn't play Ultima Underworld and go, I enjoyed that I did not have a party.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't be a thing you thought.
No,
unless
that's what I was trying to get at.
It's not,
Like,
it's Mario fighting alone is not a feature.
Yeah.
The only person who would check that is a spiteful, like, Origami King or Color Splash fan who's trying to prove a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be down on people who like those other games.
But it's
that's nothing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Let's say you love... We'll finish this first.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 left.
Okay.
Increasing the power of your attacks or defense by pressing buttons at the right time. Again. Filling a gauge with precise inputs to use powerful moves or attacks when it's full. I have
Realistically,
to assume...
those are the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. These are questions that don't make any sense in any other context.
And this is another pick 5, right?
Yes.
So it's like I can only, like, so far, like, as long as I like 4 other things up to this point, I can only pick. I like being able to do 2 jumps instead of 1 by pressing the A button at the right time. Versus, I like holding the analog stick back and letting go at the right time.
And then at the bottom is the default none of these.
Yeah,
but
of course. I don't like any of these features.
Let's go through all
None
those
of
again,
them.
right? If you're checking 5 of these, right?
Yeah.
Using special attacks / bro attacks with unique effects. Again, I like special moves in my RPG.
Yeah.
Like, that's... Even if you were using stickers, like the higher level stickers would be special attacks.
Yeah.
If you've only played those games, you're like, I think it's talking about using thing items in Sticker Star. So I guess I'll check that. These questions don't make any sense!
No.
Having time to plan your next move, a time limit that forces you to think fast about the best course of action, a turn-based combat system, a real-time combat system like in Super Paper Mario, collecting one-time usable attack items like stickers in the overworld and using these in battle, using items like mushrooms or fire flowers, solving a little puzzle at the beginning of the battle like in Paper Mario Origami King, companions fighting alongside Mario, Mario fighting alone, increasing the power of your attacks or your defense by pressing buttons at the right time, filling a gauge with precise inputs, using powerful moves or attacks when it's full. I can only figure that's a question about like those are the star power attacks from Thousand Year Door.
I mean,
like
yeah.
specifically, or some of the special attacks.
But it's like regular
from
like
the
partner
Mario and Luigi games.
But it's like even the partner attacks fall into that same category.
Yeah, but that's like, increasing the power of your attacks. Or your defense. It's
nonsense.
asking, do you like doing a QTE when you do an attack? Like you mean like all of the games except for Sticker Star and Color Splash? I'm losing my mind.
It's nonsense. That's so
like,
good.
This is what's so weird about the Mario fighting alone one in particular stands out as being completely insane.
Yeah.
Because let's say I love Color Splash and Sticker Star. So let's go through this and check the things that I like.
Yes, okay.
Using special attacks. I think we could give that a half point, honestly.
Okay.
But let's say this is a person who's spiteful.
Yeah.
no, we're dropping spiteful because they would pick the Mario fighting alone.
Yeah.
So half point for that.
Yep.
Having time to plan your next move. Yes.
Yep.
Especially in Color Splash, where you have to scroll on the Wii U gamepad through 50 cards that you can't sort. So you need that time.
If that was like ATB, you'd be screwed over.
Same with in Sticker Star, you got to go through your sticker book to find the right thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, if it was ATB, that would make the games a lot more interesting. Except of course for the fact that you can run away and it's actually more efficient.
Yeah, of course.
Because it leaves you more prep for the hard fights. So having time to plan your next move. A turn-based combat system. Collecting one-time usable attack items like stickers. Using items like mushrooms or fire flowers, because I guess those are stickers. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Whatever.
No.
Solving a little puzzle like Origami King. Yeah, I liked Origami King.
Yeah, of course.
And so if we included using special attacks, you've run out before you even get to Mario fighting alone, which again is not a feature.
No, it's not.
But anyway, that's the last thing that this Reddit post includes.
The only thing I can even think of with that, genuinely, it's like, and this isn't even being mean, but it's like I prefer less complex combat. It's like if I just have one guy to deal with, that's half the inputs.
Yeah.
You know, that's half the stuff.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so that shit's insane.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. And I love Nintendo. I love Nintendo games. I love how in touch they are with their audience.
I love Nintendo. I'm going
can-
to play my favorite Gmod map with my favorite Nintendo characters when I get done
Ay,
here.
caramba.
Oh no!
Yeah, but no. Anybody who wants a crash course on like the background of what the hell we're talking about, go and watch the video I did on Mario RPGs a couple of years ago. That's all the background you need. And
One of the earlier comments from Norweg was, "Do you like pressing buttons?" Yes, I do.
God, it's so fun. Do you like exploring a world? You mean like a video game?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
I'm trying to think of games where you don't explore a world.
It's like they
Games
exist.
that are set entirely in a one room.
One room, or like a puzzle game.
But I'm thinking like even Inscription, you're exploring that room
Yeah.
and you're experiencing the story
Yeah,
of
exactly.
a wider world.
Exactly. I guess it's just things like Baba Is You and stuff like that, right?
I guess,
still,
yeah, just like
that's
abstract, in Tetris you don't explore a world,
yeah,
I guess.
but it's like most video games don't fall under that category, especially not in this day and age. It's nonsense. And what Paper Mario?
What Paper Mario doesn't feature exploring a
What
world?
Mario game? Period doesn't.
Yeah, what
like
Mario,
Hotel Mario.
In any game, you are traversing an environment of some kind, and it is unfolding itself before you as you side scroll.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Even Mario is Missing did that. So
You explored space and you explored time in that one.
oh, it's crazy.
You traveled through time. It was crazy.
Good stuff. Oh,
God,
man.
oh my God.
I love video games, and I hate people modding Pokemon, so I'm glad Nintendo sicked the police on that. Norwega earlier, I'm going through the comments.
go
Just
ahead.
that this Alan Wake stream has been brought to you by Nintendo.
It's true.
We love Nintendo over here. The evil, greedy Gmodders that dare to ruin the sanctity of Mario and
Well,
friends.
as we'll probably learn, maybe in this stream, as we learn more about the Dark Presence, if there's one power that can overcome Nintendo's vice grip over reality, it may be the power that rests in Cauldron Lake.
Perhaps.
But we'll see about that.
Yeah, well, it's all nice and bright out now, so everything's good.
Yeah, well, at least we're not under high pressure to pick something up quickly before we die.
At least we get to explore an interesting world.
and meet characters who behave in unusual ways.
Yes. Yeah, we do.